Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Back. It's another episode of Cash and Flaco.
Yes, sir.
And you know, we are an album review show. For those who haven't seen the video before, if this is your first time, we basically review each artist's recent album.
Yeah.
We compare it to their past albums, and then we compare their best piece of work, what we feel, to artists before them.
Right.
If we can find one.
If there is, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If there really is one.
Yeah.
And we judge that basis on 4 critiques, which is lyrics, lyrical content,
Album structure,
and them beats, of course.
and beats, baby.
Because we from NYC and that's how we get down.
Basically.
So this week,
We're reviewing A$AP Rocky's Testing.
we are.
His third studio album.
And let's clarify this again. It's an actual album. It's more than 40 minutes.
15 tracks.
There's 15 songs.
Not 7 or 5.
The young man is out there giving us a decent body of work to actually review with. And I thought those other guys
Thank
did
you,
it.
Rocky.
You know what I'm saying?
No, because listen, because they fuel the fire. He fed us.
Yes, he did.
There's no
you ain't lying about
appetizers.
that.
We're not starving afterwards
Nah.
and just on repeat.
Well, I don't know if we starving yet. They'll have to see after this review.
Oh, touche.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, 15 tracks.
Yeah, of course. And again, this is just our opinion. This is our format. Please feel free to comment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And give us your review. So, I guess I'm going to go first.
Right, and what we do with albums rather than EPs, because we'll run down a full 1 through 7, 1 through 5, whatever. For the albums, we pick our best 3. So, Caps is going to start, and you're going to hit us with your best 3, and then break down your review and why, and
Yes.
I'll go.
Hit it. First off, we're going to go with the opening song, Distorted Records.
Let me.
What more distorted records do you have?
First things first, I done heard the worst things. Like if I'm in your top 10, mine's better be the first thing.
Hey, what a way to start an album off, I really feel.
Intro's tough.
The intro was tough. He basically letting you know that he's from New York, and if you're trying to put and make any list, that boy better be on the top. He feels he's very revolutionary, especially with the sound, kind of more the melody. I don't really feel like lyrically it really punched home, but I really feel he's a very up-tempo type guy. He's more of a melody guy than in-depth lyrical guy. But I did like the marriage of those 2 elements.
And for the intro.
You know what I mean? Like I think it really hit home. I think it really set the tone for the album.
Right.
Not an EP. It's an album.
15 tracks?
You know what I mean? This is one of those songs if you was in a car, you know, with the windows down, and you drive really slow, and you just let everybody and their mother hear it. I do also like the manipulation of sound he had on the beat, which is cool, and I think that's...
distorted.
Distorted
records.
I think it's kind of, distorted records. I think that kind of set the tone for what the rest of the album
Would sound like.
That's just my opinion on the first song. My second pick is A$AP Forever Remix.
Got you.
With Kid Cudi, T.I. on the intro part of it, and Moby. I think it's a dope ass record.
Right.
Let's get to listen.
God, in love with my bitch when she vibe. My eyes like the stars. I tell that bitch cover your eyes. Cause fucking with me, you go blind. She losing her mind. We keep the freak ocean and blind. Convincing my bitch to go blonde.
I think we have to get into the Cudi part, because when them hums come in,
I think it's a very braggadocious song.
100%.
You know what I mean? I think it has a very braggadocious energy. He discusses a lot about how he's basically setting the tone for what New York is now. As far as notoriety, as far as his impact on what the culture is now. Adding Kid Cudi on the hook was really dope.
Well, not the hook, a verse.
Well, he gave him a verse as well. But he, you know, like I thought was really dope. I really thought that having Moby at the end of it kind of like brought a simmer to the energy. And if you were to listen to the song on repeat, it would kind of like get you a little calmed down before you got punched back into the energy. So I really like that song a lot. I thought he had great melody. Again, I'm not a fan of
the bars.
The bars. I don't really feel like A$AP is a bars type guy.
Gotcha.
But I do think what he does very well. And sonically, a lot of different things. If you listen to the original Moby instrumental, there's a lot of other sounds that they incorporate with that beat, which is what I like about the record.
They didn't just straight jack it. They actually added to the original, which Moby, shout out to Moby, because this was a dope beat originally.
Absolutely.
Can't remember the name of the song right now.
Great record. It's like movies everywhere, you know what I mean? Like it's
exactly, but they added an extra element to it that you could really appreciate it. Like damn, that was tough that he brought that back.
Absolutely.
Shout out.
So that was one of my tops. The last one I'm gonna go with is Changes.
Track 13 out of 15, so coming towards the end.
Yes.
Baby by some.
nigga. Or either 3 months post-natal, posting up that little nigga pappy. I wonder if they really happy or just getting at me.
Boom.
Question?
I wonder if they're just
Question?
happy
Or
they're
just
getting at me.
Questions?
You know, what I like about the record that we can't really feature on here because we have a certain constraint.
Right.
It's basically 3 different beats.
Yep, transition.
And the last part of that beat is actually transitioned from another song previously in the album, where he's basically talking about how you get to I think my perception is you get to a certain level and you notice certain people's behavior that was around you, and then you start questioning what the behavior is now, because you're working your way up to a stature, and you're looking back at people and you're saying, man, like, were you really there with me because you wanted to be with me, or you really with me because what you could do for me?
Yep.
You know, and that little line right there is just a prime example of that. I love the way that beat progressed into this. I thought it was one of the more lyrical,
100%
better songs on the album.
Probably the longest song too, I think.
Yeah, I think it's like 7 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. But it was a good,
5:15.
it was good storytelling. You know, which I kind of wish he did more. You know what I mean? I kind of wish he did that more because he is really good at it.
Yeah.
You know, he might I'm a big Tupac Shakur fan. Like, he wasn't always the nastiest lyrical guy, but he always had a way of telling stories that really painted a picture and hit home with you.
Yeah.
And that song kind of hits home with me.
Yeah.
You know, for whatever reason or another, we won't get into that. That's another episode for another time. But I would say those are my 3 records.
Okay. All right, now it's Flac's turn.
Hey.
My 3. First of all, shout out to ASAP Rocky, shout out to the ASAP Mob.
Shout out to ASAP.
12
ASAP Ferg.
ASAP Ferg, like, listen,
Ferg, we love you over here, man.
New York, man, we
You
gotta
dope as hell.
rep New York.
Because y'all's dope as hell.
You know the radio stations don't do it, so we gonna rep New York.
Absolutely, you already know. Brooklyn 316, you already know what it is.
All right, first of all, I totally agree with his 3, and I specifically went the other way because I just felt, I was like, yo, because I'm a little deeper with Rock. So here we go. So this is one that Tony Tone.
Stone, when I'm in my zone, smoking on the homegrown, feeling like I'm all alone. Used to go to King.
Listen.
Actually, that would have been that was like my 4th. You know what I mean?
First of all,
dope record.
Fly Ninja shit. This is classic ASAP as far as, like, you know, he loved Bone Thugs growing up, and that's one of the inspirations for his spitting. So therefore, this is why he does that fast rapping and kind of like that tempo, and it's very reminiscent to Mixtape Rocky, to Long Live ASAP. So I truly appreciate it, and it set the, like you said about Distorted Records, but I feel like it was almost he threw the Forever remix in there because he had to, because it was so dope. But I know he must have been fighting between this one and Distorted Records for intro, because this definitely could have been an intro, and I truly loved it. And you just set that energy, like, just set that vibe. Like, to see this, to Tony Tone perform live and all them young cats just getting crazy, my old ass gonna be right up in that mosh. just going. I can hang.
About to be swerving.
Yep.
He about to be swerving on somebody.
I'm pumping Gatorade.
He about to be jumping on people that don't even know who the hell he is.
Yo, come see me in a concert. I rock. But I just truly, because where I'm going with is the diversity in ASAP decision making as far as music goes. So there was that, right? So we got that energy. My next is gonna be Brother Man. Brother, featuring French Montana on the hook.
Young man, brother, gotta fight for something, stand for something, how to understand.
Real quick with this, like Cap alluded to, bars wise, it was lackluster, right? But the melody, the tone, the pitch was there, and just that change of pace and vibe, and like the diversity in his music within all his albums, okay? And I personally truly appreciate that, because it just goes to show he's beyond like a rapper. Like, this dude really, like, sonically, like, he be searching for some shit, and he pushes himself, he tests himself. So to have that blues jazzy feel to this was just like so dope to me, and very much a change of pace. But I appreciate a change of pace, because I believe that was Brother Man is track 9, and there was Guns and Butter, which was like another like high pitch, like tempo track and he just chills it out completely right there. Just showing you the complex. I mean, I don't want to say it's complex. I ain't gonna give him too much credit, but listen, like he seeks out different sounds.
He tries definitely.
Right. And then my last is the ending track, Purity. I think I can.
Wait, freeway, no rose, brew, force, brew, champagne. Tell the front desk cut new keys. Reserved in immersive for 2 years. The 2 sweets. Took out the bell like it's.
Once again, another chill, but like you truly get to hear his bars in this one. And shout out to Frank Ocean because Frank killed this.
Yes, he did.
And I'm more than anything focusing on just how diverse he is with his sound, his selection of music, and he puts himself in uncomfortable situations and works his way out of it. I feel like time and time again, out of 15 tracks, I truly enjoyed 10 of them, and 5 of them where I felt he reached and he whiffed. Prime example, Call Drop featuring Kodak Black. Like that beat was okay, and just once again, like even like reaching out to Kodak, who's incarcerated right now, and doing the collect call and just hearing him, like it didn't line up. So Kodak gets that moment to shine, but at least putting his name out there is a huge shout out and it was dope, but like that was a miss. Get to the reviews. Like, let me hear what you guys say about Testing, because we could all assume how I feel.
Well, I think production wise, this is a very solid album.
Correct.
I think there was a lot of swings and misses.
Yeah.
I think that when you're as creative as him, I think sometimes you start searching for a new sound before everybody else kind of gets on the wave.
Chasing.
But I think that he kind of missed on it. I don't think it was a complete album. I think that some of those songs like Praise, I think that a lot of those songs, if they were released as singles, would be amazing. I think if they would have, I think to be honest with you, as opposed to the Kanye album, EP, I think EP, I think if you took the best 7 records from here, it would be an incredible EP. I don't think that the album hits home. I think there's too many inconsistencies. There's not a lot of it. It's kind of like the Cole album where it kind of leaps and bounds.
Got you.
But it was throughout the whole thing. It was kind of like 2 good songs. Then you're going through a period where you can see he's experimenting, and then it goes back to the records that really hit home. So to me, I didn't like the album structure at all. His lyrical content, I think, is fair because again, he's not the biggest super lyricist, but the way his melody is, and he has a certain way of attacking a beat with his words differently than other people.
Right.
The lyrics, I can't put him up there with a lot of the elite guys.
Got you.
So my rating would be a 2.5.
Ooh.
And this is from a person who I like ASAP, the whole movement.
Got you.
I think they're very innovative. I just think that he kind of maybe reached a little bit too far. I think for me,
right.
he experimented a little too far and didn't like keep it honest with the rest of the body of work. That's just my opinion.
Got you. Respect. I think back to Long Live ASAP, which had a lot of dope radio play, a lot of dope features. That was his first studio album. I think he stuck to the script, but you saw how experimental he was then.
Right.
Like he wasn't scared to step out of the comfort zone and try things. Then you have, which was my favorite, At Long Last ASAP. This was after Yams passed, ASAP Yams, and he went out to London or wherever he went and like learned how to produce, and like the experimentations that he tried on that album, they were not well received by most, I guess.
It was still a good listen though.
Listen, I love it.
It was still a good listen.
I love it, and like to do this, I went back and of course listened to them again, and it's because I hadn't in a minute. True Love It, where I feel like he tried on Testing to get a balance, still be edgy with the music, at the sound, and with the pitch of melodies and whatnot, but still bring it home. And honestly, I love the fact that there weren't that many features on this. Like
I do respect, absolutely.
Right, like now I'ma carry it. And so for that, I love and appreciate, and I love that he continues to still just be innovative with the sound, and I truly appreciate that. I'm putting this right there with the Cole. I'm putting it at a 3.5. I truly appreciated this. I really did. And as far as the catalog goes, I still feel my favorite is I just love what he did at Long Last, man. Like I truly did. I loved what he did there. So I would have to put that first, Long Live ASAP second, and then this one third. But I still think his evolution, and he's going to continue to grow. He's going to continue to be better, and
I think this could be his To Pimp a Butterfly later on the road, where it's something that you look back on and like, wow, he got this sound because he was able to do an album like this, And I think that he has a very Bone Thuggish sound to him.
Yeah.
I also think he sounds like Devin the Dude from Houston. If you guys are not familiar with Devin the Dude from Rap A Lot Records.
Shit, I'm not.
Very Devin the Dude-ish.
Okay.
He's very braggadocious. Not as lyrical as Devin the Dude, but his swag and his energy is a lot like that. His flow and delivery is more of a Bone Thugs, but Bone Thugs are a little more on the lyrical side.
Well, it's for them.
Right, but it was like East 1999 would probably be the album that you could probably like, you could pull from what ASAP is doing from.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, creatively, which is a great album. Shout out to the Bone Thugs.
Yep.
I was a huge fan. For the Spoon Feds, y'all already know what's on the radio. But for my seekers out there, if y'all already know who this is, much props to you. If you don't know who this is, it's because they're not on the radio and they should be on the radio.
God damn it,
they should be on every big festival. You understand? I gotta give out this best kept secret to the internet.
Yes, sir.
And the single they got out now called Roll. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You know what? I can't even explain. Just hit them with it.
Get it.
Cut that. Cut that.
I got it into the flow.
All right, there we go. It happens. It happens. I believe the album comes out the 20th. If I'm not
Album comes out the
mistaken.
20th. Hive Mind drops on the 20th.
Can't wait. Make sure you go out there, check them out.
Yeah.
Trust me, they are Caps and Flaco approved.
Hells yeah. Hells yeah.
ASAP. Shout out to ASAP.
Word up.
Appreciate you putting out that body of work and keeping the New York vibe alive and well.
Seriously.
That's our rating. So overall, Caps and Flaco give them a 3.
Yep.
Which is how it averages out.
Yep.
So again, if you think differently, make sure you comment at the bottom of the screen. But before that, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Me and my brother Flock, we out.
To the next episode.
Stay blessed. Peace.
Peace.